Hello, and welcome to Traditional Stitches FlossTube video number 26. I'm Janice Spencer, the owner of Traditional Stitches, and with me today is Rose Heck. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Janice.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. A little tired, but
You've got coffee.
got coffee. So
oh, well, I think you said you were out celebrating an anniversary.
yeah, actually, we went out last evening, so it was fun. It was fun. It was a little bit later than I'm normally, but we were treated royally, so loved it. Yeah, it was the Brazilian restaurant, so lots of meat, which I don't normally eat a lot of. So this one time we celebrated, and yeah, and I think that's why I probably got a meat coma kind of thing going on. So yeah.
Oh, I love that picture that you posted of you and Rob.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, last night. So
that wasn't actually from last evening. That was no, that was from my daughter's wedding. The eve of her wedding, we went out. I didn't even take any pictures last evening at all. So that's okay.
All right. All right. And so your social media also tells me that you've been camping in the snow.
I know. I don't know whether we're crazy and need our head examined or people are envious, but it was a lot of fun. We didn't do really any hiking, just, it was kind of snowing on and off. And we didn't see no horses around us, but we holed up with coffee or tea and knitted and stitched and read and played games, and it was wonderful.
Sounds like perfect hibernation.
It was perfect.
Yeah. Oh, good. Cool. All right. Well, I've been, I got my garden put to bed early this year, so I've had a little bit of time to go play in the mountains. So we've done a couple of hikes in Kananaskis country in the last couple of weeks. So that felt really good. I'm glad that my body still tolerates me doing those kinds of things. So, and I had a birthday. So it wasn't a big number.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Now it's over and we can not think about it again for another year.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so in this video, we're going to talk about our hat stitch alongs, what's happening in the shop, what we've been stitching on, and upcoming plans.
Sounds good.
So I didn't grab my chart. The Eliza Martha Linfoot stitch along wrapped up since the last time we met. And they did the drawing for the winner of the antique sampler and posted a picture in the Facebook group of the winner with her antique sampler. And remember in the last video, I couldn't remember which one she was winning, but it turns out that it was the Harriet Goddard sampler, which is the tall, skinny, and that's one of my favorite of Nicola's small charts. So that's cool that she won the antique.
Yeah, that one I remember seeing, and then the antique, and I don't have that one in my stash, but you're right. I really like that one. I don't know if the design is gorgeous, but I think it's also the shape too. It just lends itself to something really special. So I'm glad she got it.
Do you have a space in your wall that's tall and narrow there where you could have a sampler like that?
You bet, you bet.
There's always space for more, right?
I actually started putting samplers down the stairs. So I have a large area up because we're in a bi-level, but I looked at the area that by the banister and that, and I thought there is nothing there. So I started putting some samplers there, and it looks quite sweet. So
cool. So what else so now that the Eliza Martha Linfoot stitch along is wrapped up, that Facebook group, and I'm loving this about the way that we're managing these Facebook groups right now, is going to segue into a brand new stitch along. So in the same group, so it maintains all of the members and all of the past photos and files and everything, but it's going to transition to a new stitch along. And it is going to be Hannah Campbell, and she's an Irish sampler. And Sherry has posted some sneak peeks of Hannah's sampler on the Linfoot Facebook group. From a time frame perspective, it's dependent on supplies. So we're going to wait to announce the availability until we have the supplies pinned down, and that we know that they're, you know, in our back pockets ready to go.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
But keep watching on that, because that's a really beautiful sampler.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's that. And then, so that's the last time we're going to talk about the Eliza Martha Linfoot sampler.
Yeah.
But then when we know more about Hannah Campbell's sampler, we'll definitely be talking about that. So then the stitch along to talk about next is our Esther Blackwood sampler.
Okay. This my copy is starting to get, you know, worn, dog-eared, and you know, it's been loved on for almost a year.
Yeah.
Pardon me. So I will show you where we're at. So we have completed month 10, which is the dog, the little bouquet, I guess. And what seems to be Esther had taken her different colors and probably was doing some color swatches. That's my only thought. So month 11 is going to bring us into the rest of the border on the bottom. So we've got the two little bouquets in the corner. What I think looks like a walk in the woods with the trees, which appeals to me. And then her name at the bottom. So I'm kind of looking forward.
So close.
We won't be doing the side border until month 12. This little bit here, you know, if anybody really wants to close that up. I'm excited to have most of the border done, though. For some reason in my head, that's completion. So
I'm just looking at my chart here. I think this is another section that's going to be all cross stitch.
Yeah.
Over 2. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just. I don't think the. You're right. Yeah. No. It's all over 2. So that's kind of nice. And this is where I'm getting harder to show. But you can see, let me see, where are we? Let's move it over a bit. Just trying to figure out my camera. There we go.
So pretty.
Yeah. I love the dog. I really, I mean, I'm a dog lover, but I believe it's a retriever. And my daughter has retrievers. And so I look at this and I think, oh yeah, that's one of the retrievers. And it was a lot of fun to stitch. It went faster than I thought. So anybody that looks at those full dense stitching, it goes really fast. When you have to start, sometimes it, you know, takes a bit, but get into it. I still use the Paco needle organizer, and that helps. So speeds it up a bit.
That looks awesome. It's hard to believe we're in the home stretch on that.
I know. But if anybody knows me, I've been doing my own framing the last couple of years, and I do have a frame sort of ready. I have to cut it down, which is why I'm kind of looking forward to getting the border, because then I can kind of confirm. So she has to be cut down, and I probably will stain her to be more of a walnut. So I'm excited. Excited. And it's going to be sad when it's done. So it's a bittersweet.
Yeah.
So,
isn't that funny how we feel about those projects?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So we're going into month number 11 of the year-long stitch along. So our final day for the stitch along is going to be December 26th.
Right.
So at some point in there, we're going to be doing a drawing for an antique sampler, also from Nicola's collection. So those of you who have finished Esther's sampler can email pictures of your finished sampler to the email address, which is contest traditionalstitches.com, and I'll put that in the box below. So what I need you to do is include the photo of your finished sampler as well as your full name in the email, and then we'll build a spreadsheet and do an auto number generator draw and announce the winner.
Good. That sounds good.
Yeah, exciting, hey?
Yeah.
All right, so Esther Blackwood is a sampler that is exclusive to Traditional Stitches. It wasn't even available via Nicola's website, and we do still have some copies available, which was kind of how I wanted it to go, so that it didn't sell out quite so quickly as our last one. And we still have people emailing us every week asking for Ann Morrison charts. So we planned a little bit different. So now that you can all see the finished design in the Facebook group and Rose's progress, we do still have charts available. So for your collection.
And that's it. Even if you're not planning to start Esther soon or ever, it's really nice to have that exclusive piece in your collection. So I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
And she's Canadian, so if you're maybe a collector of, worldwide pieces, this would definitely be up there with being a Canada sampler. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's pretty special. All right, so we're getting closer and closer to announcing what is going to be the follow-up exclusive sampler to Esther Blackwood. So again, we're waiting for the supply chain to come together, and we're trying to avoid getting in a situation where there's delays or disappointments or anything. Yeah. But I'm going to lay out a few hints here for you. It is going to be a hats sampler. It is a sampler that Nicola has shown on her FlossTube videos that has gotten rave reviews, and people are constantly asking her when the chart is going to be released. So she's pretty special. Nicola has found, and so I'll share with in the next slide, a picture of the lady that actually stitched the sampler. So that's kind of a cool piece to have. I'm trying not to let the name slip, so it is a very symmetrical sampler. And it really has a great color palette with a really nice range of colors. So it's going to be fun to stitch. There will be a mini McBean frippery to go along with it. And that's all I can tell you.
I didn't know that she had shown it in one of her FlossTube videos. I'm going to have to be quite a while. I don't know if I can do that. There's a lot of videos. That is a lot of videos. So I do know what it looks like. So I don't think I am going to flip through to find it, but she may eventually mention where it is when it is being shown, but
yeah. So, and I don't know if we've told everybody yet, but I did, have to work really hard to twist your arm to get you to volunteer to run this.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I know when you asked me and I went, oh, do bears poop in the woods? Yeah, obviously. It's like, duh.
Yeah.
So, and then when you showed me the picture of this little girl, no, I did not slip. I was like, oh yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah.
So it's cool. A pretty one.
Well, we're going to have fun with that.
Yes.
So I'm hoping to announce this month, to share pictures, to start taking orders, to that kind of thing by the end of November, if everything comes together. So we're talking hand-dyed linen has to work out, the printers have to work out. I know the silk thread is mostly inline, and we need the fripperies and that kind of thing. So all of these moving parts need to come together in order for it to happen.
Isn't that the truth, though?
Yeah, so more information to come.
Sounds good.
Oh. So then just a few things that have been happening in the shop since our last visit.
Oh, yes.
It came in yesterday.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the 2023 Book of Days for Needlework Enthusiasts from Needlework Press. and we got a case of them yesterday, and lots of them have already gone back out the door. I was shipping last night, so I'll just give you a little bit of a preview. On the back cover, there's a complimentary heart and hand chart.
Oh,
So there's yeah. Oh, yours is there set aside for you, your book
awesome.
of days. So
Awesome.
you're covered. Okay, so inside each month is full page opening like this that has all of the days of the month and a space for notes. And these are the books that everybody is stickering the heck out of to fit the season or what they're stitching, and they just look awesome when they're done that way. So yeah, and some quotes in there. Kindness and good manners never go out of style.
Isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm. Procrastination is the thief of time.
Yeah.
So
Full disclosure, I have been using it for the last couple of years. I'm a little behind on 2022. I don't even think there's anything in October. However, I do tend to post on Instagram, which is kind of a journal for me. And I can kind of backtrack and look where I finished something, but I really need to work on like daily, like writing down, okay, you know, worked on this, or, you know, slap a sticker. So I've got to do something different. So if anybody has any ideas on how they remember to do this daily, put it down below. I would love to hear your ideas.
yeah, please comment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting, and we have lots left. So anybody who's been waiting, go ahead and order. We're getting them out. So that actually brings me to the next thing that I want to say is that finally shipping timeframes are getting better. So we're turning around complete orders in the shop within a few days, which feels much better for all of us in the shop. And I'm sure it's making people happier too. So the website still gives a longer time frame because we would rather under promise and over deliver on some of those things, but that's good news. We're really happy about that. And the other thing that's happening this week, and I don't want to jinx anything, but we are receiving huge orders from the Gentle Art and Gloriana this week.
Oh,
yeah. So
that is big.
Yeah, so the Gentle Art order includes colors we haven't seen for a very long time. And it's been many months since we've been able to get a Gloriana shipment. So I am hopeful that this means it's a sign of good things to come in the supply chain. So, but like I say, I don't want to jinx it. So when those shipments come in, we'll fill our back orders from oldest to newest, like we always do. And then anything that's left over will be in the shop on the displays. So yeah, hopefully those pegs will get filled back up.
That would be nice, especially Gloriana. That's been a tough one.
Yeah.
You told me one time.
I'm not sure that there's going to be much left once we go through that order because people have been waiting so patiently for us to get a shipment, but
yeah, but it's a start of good things to come. So
yeah, definitely. So this time of year is also the time when we start to see new series releases from designers that do that kind of thing. So I expect we'll see a handful of series, but the first one has been announced, and it is the Country Cottage Needleworks Big City design. And it is a 7-part series that you can stitch them individually as ornaments, or you can put them in a strip of fabric meant to replicate winter in the big city. So we're setting up an auto ship for that, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the fabric. So the series calls for 32 count lamb's wool linen, and it is all cross stitch over 2, so it can certainly be done on Ada as well. But we're thinking about the lambswool linen, and Kathleen had a brilliant idea to actually, because of it's a big city in the Christmas theme, to stitch it on the sparkly linen. So I think that's awesome. I think it suits it a lot. So that's what we're kidding with is this. So this is 32 count Belfast linen natural with a silver sparkle.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think that's going to be fun.
I might have to consider doing that one. When you first posted and I read through it, there was something nostalgic that struck me, and I had to figure out what it was. I remember as a kid, and I was born and raised in Edmonton, and I remember going out in the winter, big city shopping, department stores, that type of thing. And there was something that came back up, and I, I had a little bit of a, nostalgic moment.
Oh.
So I may or may not, I don't know. I have, so much to stitch on, but that one might appeal to me.
Mm-hmm. That would be a really good coffee and cross stitch project.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I pulled this off the wall. This is Little House series, Jack Frost Tree Farm. And I stitched it on that same opalescent sparkly linen. So I just wanted to see if I could get that to actually show up on the camera, and you can kind of see it in the upper top corner, but the reflections off the frame are. Anyways, this one hangs over our till in the shop, and it gets a lot of attention, and everybody wants to do it on the sparkly linen. So I stitched that in 2019. Time goes by.
It does. And then I did the one, and I can't remember what it was called anymore. And I have it hanging downstairs, and I mounted it on an old frame, not a frame, a window frame type of thing. And it's really cute. And it's their Country Christmas. It has the one that has the vintage truck in it, and I can't remember the name. So they do some really nice series, and they're just really heartwarming. So,
yes. And a gentle stitch too, like something like we said, appetite palette cleanser. That's what you say.
Cleanser. Yeah. I really like something like that. So yeah, I'd have to consider that. 2 seconds. Lucy and her toy.
Oh.
She got this, and yeah, I'll just put it away. So.
When she gets started, she probably doesn't stop. Eh?
No, she doesn't. So that's why I caught her quickly. So she's back beside me looking for some snuggles and some scratches and that. So yeah.
Okay, so we'll link that Big City series from Country Cottage Needleworks below, but it's going to be a fun one, and we should have the charts and thread packs ready to start shipping at the end of November from the distributor. And keep an eye out for some fun new series too, because as our designers wrap up their series, for example, the Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods, the final chart is going to be here next week. What are they going to do next?
Yeah.
So the one thing that's happened already this week is we got a shipment of hand-dyed linen from Weeks Dye Works. So in the last few videos, I've been doing kind of parades of in-stock linens just to show people things that they can order right away that we have on hand. And I'm only choosing linens that I know we have lots of, so that if the shopping cart system goes berserk, we're still going to be able to cover everybody.
Right.
So I just want to show you 5 or 6 fabrics here. This is Onyx in 40 count. And I really like this fabric, partly because you can't really get a black fabric in a higher count, a good black fabric. So this is 40 count, and it's the standard base, and you can tell that because it doesn't have the orange Swagart zigzag in the selvage. but the 40 count linen is good and dense. And sometimes on Weeks Dye Works linen, I think the thing people don't like is that the threads move around too much in the weave of the fabric.
Yeah.
But the 40 counts are tighter just because of the nature of 40 threads per inch. So anyways, onyx.
Okay.
And this is sanguine, again in the old standard base. This is kind of a pinky salmony color, and we try to keep it in stock because the Cottage Garden Songbird series that was from a few years ago used this on 3 or 4 of the months in the series, and it just is such a unique color. And the one that I've got started has got all kinds of autumn golds and olivey greens and stuff for the threads that's stitched on this. So it's pretty cool. This
it's
is
also
36.
sorry. It's also used, I know, in Blackbird designs. They have some designs that go on sanguine, and very pretty. So
yeah. It's a cool color to have.
Yeah.
This is 40 count tin roof, and it is on the Zweigart base. You can tell because it's got the orange zigzag in the selvage, and it just is such a good sampler color.
It looks quite green, but it's a gray green, is it not?
Gray green, yeah.
Yeah. Just the camera is, compared to that.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So that's a really, and the Zweigart base just feels so good.
Yeah, I agree.
And then this is, so that was, what did I say that was? 40 tin roof. And then this is 40 count mocha. So it's a little bit less gold than straw, than the Weeks Dye Works straw. A little bit more brown, but still just beautiful, and in the Zweigart base.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, and then I've got a great big yard of it here, so yeah.
Another good sampler color.
Yep, very good sampler color. All right, so that's those. Oh, and then the other thing that we got in this week, and it's a little bit early for spring thoughts, but not really, are these hip hop thread drops from Access Commodities.
They're cute. Yeah.
So there's space on them for you to write your color number and the thread type. So these ones with the double holes are great because you can put your whole skein in the big hole and then your cut off bits in the bunny's eyeball.
Yeah.
So they come.
I agree with you. I agree with you there. Those are cute.
20 to a pack. So we've got those. They're fun.
Cute.
Yeah. All right. So I think. So for the in-stock fabrics, I'll put a link below that is in-stock fabrics for FlossTube video number 26, and just update that list. Because oftentimes people just want to get going on a project. And so that's a good place to start with fabric that you know that you can get it right away. So we're going to keep doing that.
Perfect.
And yeah, I don't really, otherwise going on in the shop, if you've been reading our newsletter, you know I've been bemoaning the fact that inventory is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It's part of doing business. Do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the other thing is that retreat in Edmonton, the Stitch and Stash. So we've been talking details with the organizers about how much space we can have and that kind of thing. So we're buttoning up those details, and then we'll have more to share about that in the future. And so that's going to be held in Edmonton, Alberta, at the Fantasyland Hotel, and it should be awesome.
It should be.
Yeah. All right, Rose, what have you been stitching?
I have, well, let me just do a bit of digging here.
Okay.
So everybody knows that I've been working on Jeanette Douglas, the mini bouquet sampler, Sal. And of course, this is 1 a month bouquet that she has graciously given for free. So thank you, Jeanette. This is the finished design, and month 10 was finished, and next week, month 11, will come out. And my progress is thus far.
Oh,
So, and I love that October one. You really can't see the colors, but the colors are just warm and cozy. And I kind of like that. So I'm working on her. And I think I had done a bunch of finishes and got that all done. So I pulled back a piece that, and you probably haven't seen it because I tend to not post it that often. It's called Frances Eden. And I don't know if she is out of print or if she's available. So I apologize if you see it and you go, oh, I have to have it. This is what she looks like.
mm,
And I just love this one. I've seen this one finished. And I'm working on that house that's in the bottom corner. And that house is a beast, but it's really sweet. So I'll back up a little. So that's my progress so far. And I had started her in hand a few months ago. And I went, no, I think she needs to be in a scroll frame. So, yeah, if you're really interested in her, you know, check with different businesses.
I
Ask
think
around.
I've heard that the attic is carrying hands to work charts. So that would be the first place that I would start.
And I think that's where I got her from, I think. But don't quote me on that one. And I've had her for 2 or 3 years before I picked her up. And, oh, yeah, I have a little one here. The story behind, this is from iStitch Designs. And iStitch Designs, Carol Ridyard, I believe is her name. This is a little mini band sampler. So she does all sorts of different little band samplers and stuff. So I stitched this the first time 2 years ago, and I bought a Tim Holtz locket. I put it in. The first locket, the clasp broke. I bought a new locket. The second one last year, the clasp broke. I lost the little mini sampler.
Oh, no.
So I bemoaned the fact that it was gone, and I thought, well, I still have the pattern. Why don't I stitch another one? So that's what I'm working on right now. I've just got some fabric around her so I can put her in a Q-snap. And yes, she is tiny. She is 40 count over 1. So I use Swastrophine, and it's actually not that bad. It's yeah, and then you back it with some interfacing. You do, I think, a nun stitch on the sides, and then you pop it into the locket. I am not wearing this one. This one is going to just go with display.
Right.
And that's it. So I learned my lesson. Nothing against the Tim Holtz lockets. They're not, you know, built to handle that. Yeah. So that is presently what I'm working on for whips. So, and what are you working on?
Well, same old, same old.
And I think that's, you know, I'm looking forward to the day that you say it's not a whip anymore.
No, well, I hit the bottom.
Oh.
So.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, she's so pretty.
Yeah. So I've been very monogamous in my stitching.
Oh.
I did start, I needed to test and see what the water was going to be like. So I did start doing some of the satin stitch fill-in for the water. So, and I think it's going to go pretty quick.
Yes. Yes.
I briefly thought about taking it out of the frame and sewing the satin stitch, but I'm pretty well set up for the two-handed method. Yeah. So left hand on top, right hand on the bottom, and so I think it's going to go pretty quick. Yeah. There's still quite a bit of cross stitch that I need to do to fill in this bottom section.
Okay.
And then the water will go in after that.
Personally, I like the satin stitch for the water. It gives it a a very unique look. I have seen people do it with cross stitch and it looks okay and there's nothing wrong, but that satin stitch just gives it that extra oomph.
Yeah, I think so too. It would be much more visual interest. So there are areas up here where that bright blue color is supposed to be cross stitched. And then the satin stitch butts up to it. But I think I'm going to try and just do it all in satin stitch. I think that makes better sense to my mind anyways. So I had kind of always thought I wanted to do a full coverage piece, and now I have, and now I don't ever have to do it again. But one thing that I would do, and I know you're contemplating starting this project, is I've kept this in my scroll frame. And the areas that I've stitched, now that I have so much rolled on top of roll, is making my frame knot tight because there's not any bulk of stitches on these fabric ends. So I think that, and now that I've got it off, I can totally do it. I would cut, I don't know if it needs to be like batting or even just some kind of fabric to roll into my roll on these sides that don't have stitches to help keep the tension even across the whole thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly. Now I have a Millennium frame and I don't quite have that problem, but I also have the needlework 4. I always murder the name, and I will have that issue. The only thing with batting that I could say as a negative is because it's very fibrous, sometimes it has a way of morphing into your stitching and you're picking up little fibers.
Being linty kind of.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So maybe I'll just take some quilting cotton or something that.
Yeah, even
and
2 or 3 layers.
You can kind of see how much thicker the stitched area is than just the linen area. And so that's the difference that I need to keep up.
I would say experiment with some different, cottons or something. Yeah. Even wool felt might even be better because it's not as fibrous than like a regular felt, which is more fibrous. So yeah, I'd experiment.
Yeah, definitely. So I am most definitely going to have a 2022 finish here.
Yay.
And it might be our next video, but I don't want to commit to that. But it's not far off. And then once I've done that, then I will post my actual thread usage because I have run out of a couple more colors in the section that I'm working on. So then I'll share what I actually used so that everybody is starting off from a good point going forward on it.
Right. And for those that are watching, you probably know that I have bought the chart and I am going to start building up the silk floss. I decided that's what my goal is. So I may not start it in 2023. It may be more of a 2024 once I have all of the silk floss together. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I have really enjoyed it. And I think I'm going to be a little bit sad when it's done, but I'm already starting to addition projects for what's next.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, well, because I think that the timing of finishing that is going to coincide quite nicely with the New Year's start idea.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I like to do a significant project for my New Year's Day start. So and with the way that things still are, getting supplies, now is the time to start planning that to make sure that you've got most, if not all, of what you need on hand for your cozy pajama coffee January 1 start date.
And that is a good plan. I don't think I have anything planned for a New Year's start, but I definitely know I can go do some stash diving. And I actually have one in mind that I might start for New Year. So I'm not going to say anything until I make a determination because there's probably 2, maybe 3. So we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to show off the ones that we're auditioning as candidates.
That's a really good idea.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll do that for the November video. Okay.
Sounds good. I'll have to plan that.
Okay. Sounds good. An excuse to spend some time with our stash.
Yeah, exactly. I need.
All right. So what have you got planned until we meet again?
Well, I have to do a framing job today. I think we were talking earlier and it started snowing here this morning. In fact, I was watching my dog Lucy look out the window going, snow. So she'll be doing that all winter. But I think I'm going to frame this piece. And if you follow me on Instagram, it's a piece, and I had to laugh. I bought this from you. Well, it says 2011. So I bought it sometime between 2011 and 2012. I don't have the chart. It doesn't matter because it's finished. So this is Berries and Birds Antique Alphabet from JBW Designs.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to laugh. I had a piece of, I did it on 32 count linen. And I don't normally do it on 32 count linen, but I had a frame that I wanted to put it in. So I thought, yeah, let's use it. So I actually antiqued, it looks, yeah, you can't really tell. It was really gold and I just antiqued it yesterday. I might play around with it more. So that I'm going to do this afternoon. And I just used some DMC in the color 115.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a total experiment. And I like how it turned out.
So 115 is one of the old style DMC variegated threads, and it is still available.
And it is, and that's what I bought. I bought it from you here a little while back, and I cut that up. And I think in the future I would not do that. I would take it directly off the skein. Just to, so I had to do. I learned the hard way. When I ended up doing this border, I had about 3 different sections so that I would kind of have a continuity of the color. I had some abruptness, and it's like, okay, note to self, something like the DMC, probably better to take it directly off the skein. And yeah, I mean, the bottom line, you probably wouldn't notice. I do. So that's something I'm going to work on. And yeah, I've got nothing else. I have finishes. They're all done. I had a finishing frenzy about 2 weeks ago, and I found out that I am not a person that likes to have a whole bunch of projects that I have to finish at once, because I stalled all summer. It's like, I don't feel like finishing. I don't feel like, and finally I said, I've got to finish. It is building up. So did that. That's about it.
Well, now that our wintry weather might be here, I think I'll be getting a little bit more stitching time too.
Yeah, well, hopefully can hunker down in the evenings. It gets dark here sooner, and then now with daylight saving time switching off and regular time, I think that happens in a couple weeks or next week. Yeah.
Well, the most exciting thing that I have on my horizon is I'm going to the attic in November. So I'm going to go hang out with my needle workshop owning friends and take the Jackie Duplessis classes that Jean is offering, and just have a really nice few days away in the sunshine.
Yeah, well, we might have sunshine here, but they definitely won't have snow.
Yes, very true. So I'm looking forward to that. It's always very good for my soul to go and spend time with those people. And so, yeah, it'll be great. I'm going to think I'm going for 5 sleeps.
Okay. Well, that sounds exciting. I think you'll really enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it'll be great. So I'm hoping to see lots of people there that we haven't seen in a while, and reconnect that way. So yeah, I'll tell you about it when I get back.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if you want to come to the shop anytime to pick up your book of days.
Might happen next week.
Okay, I've got it tucked in a special place in the office for you, so whenever you're ready.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, thanks again for the visit, Rose.
Thank you, Janice. You take
Okay.
care.
You too.
Talk to you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.